Hey guys, and welcome back. So for me, it is Sunday, so I'm trying to get a few videos done for the week because sometimes after work, it's just not going to work for me. Pun intended, I guess. But so I had done the first video of the day inside, but it's late in the day because I had to pack orders and make stuff. So I've moved outside because the breeze has started to pick up. And I refuse to turn on lights when it's hot because I just feel like it makes it hotter. It's totally psychological. But I'm outside. The sun is setting behind me, and there's a nice breeze for our completely different change of pace. We're going to talk about fire cider today, and I have a question. How many of you have actually heard of it? Better yet, how many of you have actually tried it? Because if you've ever taken a shot of traditional fire cider, well, you probably remember it. Your nose remembers it. Your eyes remember it. Your sinuses definitely remember it. But here's the really interesting part. Fire cider isn't famous because it's delicious. It's famous because generation after generation of herbalists kept making it. And as we know, this is where the question why begins. Why did they keep making this thing that was setting everybody's sinuses on fire? So what was traditional fire cider used for? Well, traditionally, people reached for fire cider during the colder months. It is commonly associated with seasonal wellness, respiratory support, circulation, digestion, and just overall general immune support. And honestly, I think one of the reasons it survived for so long is because it was practical, right? The ingredients were already sitting in their kitchen. They didn't have to, scale the Rockies to get them, right? There was garlic, onion, ginger, hot peppers, vinegar, right? Honey. Kind of funny how fire cider season kicks off right after apple season, seeing the correlation with apple cider vinegar, right? So these weren't exotic herbs imported from other countries. These were everyday ingredients, right? And that's important because sometimes we forget, right, that traditional herbal preparations always started in the kitchens, right? Long before the health food stores and the supplement bottles and the capsules, right? And definitely long before social media. So why is it called fire cider? Well, take a sip and you'll know why, right? That one pretty much named itself. But seriously, there is a reason for the name, right? The warming ingredients create an experience, if you will, right? You don't slowly sip fire cider while sitting quietly and reflecting by the fire in the evening. You know it's there immediately. And while we often talk about herbal actions using terms like expectorants, circulatory stimulant, digestive support, sometimes the easiest way to understand an herbal preparation, well, is by experience it. Fire cider warms you up, right? You feel that warmth almost instantly. So if you're experiencing your own personal hot flash, you probably do not want to take fire cider. But then something unexpected happens, right? And this is one of my favorite stories in modern herbalism because a recipe became center of a legal battle. Yep, you heard me correctly. Fire cider was trademarked. And the herbal community did not take that very well. Many herbalists argued that the recipe had been taught, shared, and modified and passed down for decades. How could one company own the name of a traditional preparation? And honestly, that's kind of a fascinating conversation because it forces us to ask the bigger question, right? Who owns traditional knowledge? Can you trademark a recipe that's been passed from teacher to student for generations? Can anyone truly own a traditional preparation? Are we all so money hungry that we'll do this to each other? Well, eventually the courts ruled that the term had become generic in use, and I think that's where the real lesson is. Herbalism has always been built on a community, on teaching, on sharing, and adaptation for what's going on around it. So the audacity of someone to think that they owns it is just crazy. Now, here's the interesting thing. No two fire cider recipes are exactly the same, right? Some add turmeric, some don't. Some use cayenne, others prefer jalapenos. Some recipes are incredibly spicy, like not child friendly. Others are much milder, right? And that's because herbalism isn't about following a recipe perfectly. It's about understanding why the recipe works. And once you understand that, you start making adjustments. You can personalize it. You can formulate, right? And that's where things start to get interesting. That's why if somebody says you want to try my fire cider, you should probably ask what's in it. So there is a quick word of caution. Before everyone runs to the kitchen and starts chopping hot peppers, let's talk about safety. Because this is not for everyone. If you deal with acid reflux, stomach ulcer, heartburn, gastrointestinal inflammation, or sensitivity to spicy foods, well, this might not be the best choice for you. And that's okay. Herbalism isn't about finding one preparation that works for everyone, right? It's about finding the preparation that's right for you. Can you make a vinegar that's mild enough for you? Absolutely. Play with the ingredients. You can totally do it. I think fire cider has remained so popular because it's practical. It's customizable, right? And it's rooted in everyday ingredients that many of us already have in our kitchen, right? But next time, right, our next video, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to take this traditional formula, right, and we're going to completely change its personality. We're going to add some hibiscus, pomegranate, oranges, right? I told you, no two fire ciders are exactly the same. And I think this comparison might be one of the most important formulation lessons, right? Because changing just a few ingredients can completely change the herbal preparation. And maybe that's the biggest lesson of all. There's rarely one perfect formulation. There's only the formulation that's right for you. So I have put a traditional fire cider recipe below for anybody that wants to get a little curious and play with it yourself. Again, Fergus, no. If you want to swap out anything, research some other recipes, figure out what to put in, what to take away, tweak it for your own personal taste, you absolutely can. Let me know if you try it. Let me know if you have tried it. Let me know your personal experience. I'm not really a fan of traditional fire cider, but I'm not a fan of super spicy foods either. So that's why the next fire cider when we do is actually one of my favorites because it is a little milder. Again, getting children to do fire ciders, well, that's an act of Congress, but we're going to do that one next. But until next time, guys, I want you to stay rooted, stay curious, and as always, keep growing in grace.